is Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here for LinuxMusicStudio.com. Today I have a vintage tech review. It's been a while since I did one of these, back when the channel was still called Demonic Sweaters, but I know you're wondering, how does this relate to Linux? Well, it kind of does, and you'll see here in a little bit. But anyway, I still think you guys like these kind of videos, so that's why I'm doing another one. And what I'm holding here in my hand is a Jamcam 3.0. Well, it's actually the box for the Jamcam. If you look at the back right here, you'll see how amazing this thing is and what kind of special features it has. This is a glorious 640 by 480 camera that was made in the late 90s, and it ran on Windows 95, and it is really crappy, but that's exactly why I love it. You may remember back, one of my earlier vintage tech reviews was about the Sony Mavica FD7 camera, and I just wanted to mention, you know, lately LGR, I don't know if you watch LGR, but he's another YouTuber on here, and he's really great. I'm a huge fan. But he's been doing a lot of these retro digital camera reviews, and I just want to, for the record, I had my Mavica FD7 blog online since 2008. So just to, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I've kind of been doing these for a little while, but, you know, LGR is really great. And I don't think he's done one of these yet, though. And I have it right here. It's actually out of the box already. And this thing, it has a fixed focus lens. There's no actual like screen on the back. Well, there's a screen, but it's just, you know, basically numbers is all you get. And it has a built-in flash as well as a fixed focus lens. It's 0.3 something megapixels. It's very low. I think it's either about the same as the Mavica or a little bit lower. Of course, I don't have my information quite as good as LGR does when he does his, but, you know, good enough. These were actually made by a company called KB Gear, and they made several of these devices that, if you look right here on the back of the let me try to focus this in here. I think I'm too close, but maybe I'll post a screenshot. They had basically a camera, they had a MP3 player, they had something called Jam Studio, which was like a drawing tablet, and then they also had something called Jam It, which was like this thing right here that has a microphone on it. And I might actually try to find one of those, because I am really curious as to what that thing actually did. I think it was some kind of weird like vocal effect processor or something like that. And this says on the back here, at jamonline.com, the website for Jamcam customers, you can order prints of your Jamcam pictures or turn your favorite photos into t-shirts, mugs, and photo cookies? Photo cookies? What are photo cookies? Photo cookies. It actually does say photo cookies. And then also it has a memory slot in the back. This is for, this type of card is called a multimedia card, and it actually looks exactly like a SD card, a full-size SD card, but it's actually a little bit different. It's a different format, apparently. I'm not going to pull it out of there because you actually can't turn the camera off. You just have to wait for it to go off on its own. But I don't want to pull it out while it's on. Now, what's great about these things is they, especially if you shoot on the lowest resolution setting, you can get some really weird digital artifacts, very glitch-looking photography. What's fun for me is to take one of the lowest resolution images and then increase the size so you can see all of the glorious detail of the glitchiness of these things. And I'm going to show some of those here in a little bit. But what is interesting is these actually, when I first got the camera, let me just show you what it comes with here. I actually found this on eBay, and it was still in the box. It was used, but it was in the box, and it was good shape. I think it was 20 bucks, free shipping. And it had all of the accessories. It had the manual and the cables that it came with. Let me see if I can even open this. So it comes with a USB printer type cable. It's got one of those big ends on it there. And it also came with a serial cable. And what's weird about this serial cable, I actually haven't used it because I don't have a computer to do that with, but it plugs in with this kind of analog looking plug that plugs into this plug right here on the side of the camera. So I'm not really sure how that actually works, but the USB cable came with it, and as well as the original software, which is on this disk, and then the manual. The software, I actually did try loading this onto my computer and running it on Wine, and the actual software will open up in Wine, believe it or not. However, the camera just wouldn't read in Linux when I plugged it in. I figured, I'd just plug it in and it'd be pretty simple. You just see it pop up as a hard drive on the disk and you could read off of it. But that's not the case, because these used a different type of technology for transferring the photos to the computer, and you had to use the proprietary software that actually came with the Jamcam to do it. Now, I was researching online and I actually used Wine, like I said, to install the software, tried a bunch of things, I couldn't do it, and I was actually contemplating there for a little while trying to find a Windows 98 computer, and I even emailed a couple of people on Craigslist asking about them, that they were selling them, just to see if I could get the photos taken off this thing on an old Windows 98 laptop. But before I did that, luckily I was Googling some Linux things, and I actually found in a forum that there's something called Gphoto 2, which is a command line Linux tool that supposedly, I'll let that motorcycle drive by, there's something called Gphoto 2 that's a command line tool for Linux that supposedly had a driver for these on it. So I installed it on my Dell gaming laptop first, and I couldn't get it to do anything. I was plugging in the camera, and it seemed like it was reading it, but I couldn't get any of the photos off of it, and I was getting frustrated again. And then, just out of curiosity, I was like, I'm going to try this thing on my Mac Pi, my Macintosh Raspberry Pi that's sitting right back there behind me, and I plugged it in, ran Gphoto 2, and sure enough, it worked. I don't know if it's just like psychological for the camera, that thing looks like a really old computer and it decided it was going to work because of that, but I know that's not the case. But I just thought that was strange, and so it still won't read off of my main computer, which is running Ubuntu 18.04, but it will run, or it will load photos off of the Macintosh Pi, which actually has Raspbian, the latest version of Raspbian on it. After that, I was taking a few photos and got some pretty cool shots, and it's really fun to just use the photos that come out of it. And also, if you manipulate them a bit in the GIMP, I was able to get some pretty interesting results on some of these photos. When I plugged it into my other laptop, actually the iBook that I did a video on it's not out right now, but I did a video on that a few videos ago, and I have Ubuntu 16.04 LTS running on that, and it does work on the iBook. Again, an old looking computer seemed like it worked, but it could just be the different versions of Linux. I'm sure that's it. However, I just thought that was funny. It's actually a cool little camera. It's very light. Fits in my pocket. When I first got it, the battery, oh yeah, let me show you the battery. It actually runs on a 9-volt battery, which is kind of bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen a digital camera that ran on a 9-volt battery. But the thing with that is when I first got it, the previous owner had left a 9-volt battery in there, which is kind of bad because it started to corrode and get all nasty and stuff, and I had to rip when I pulled the battery off of it, it ripped one of the connector part of the battery off and actually stuck to the part in the Jamcam. So I had to pull that out with some pliers, and then also take a little bit of sandpaper and sand down the corrosion on the connectors there. And then I was able to plug in a regular 9-volt battery, and it seemed to work fine after that. So now what I'm going to do, we've already talked all about it. I'm going to play some music and show you a slideshow of some images I took with this Jamcam. So enjoy. Well, I hope you enjoyed my Jamcam 3.0 slideshow. If you did and you like these kind of videos, be sure to click the Patreon link down below, which is just patreon.com/LinuxMusicStudio. And you can subscribe to my channel if you want, and click the little bell icon that will notify you every time there's a new video. And once again, thanks to everybody for watching. I recently went over 3,000 subscribers, and I forgot to mention that in the other videos, but thanks a lot, everybody, for that. And also thanks to my current patrons, Elias and Frederick. You guys are awesome. And I only have 2 right now, but I'm hoping to get some more. If you guys feel like supporting, that'd be awesome. But you don't have to. Either way, have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys soon.